we go.
Well, we have done that.
Yes. Juanita Josserand, is that how you say her name? And Don Jordan. Yes. I'm gonna read your thing verbatim. Yep. Okay. I mean, we can, yeah. Okay, that'll work. Okay, that'll work. Okay, here we go. We'll call this committee of the whole meeting to order on September 9th, 2025 at 6:03 PM. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If you could all remain standing real quick. Also want to do a moment of silence for two individuals this week that we lost in Lincoln. The first is Juanita Josserand. She served as the deputy clerk from March 1st, 1971 until her appointment as city clerk on February 1st, 1987. She was appointed to fill the unexpired term of then city clerk Robert Madigan, who was elected to the state senate. She was reelected 4 times and retired on April 30th, 2003. And then also a moment of silence for Don Jordan, please. Okay, thank you very much. Got her done. Okay, first up is public participation. We have a couple speaker cards. First, Tony Grillo. Tony, if you'd like to step forward. Floor is yours, sir.
Sweet, thank you. My name's Tony Grillo. I think I was here a few weeks ago regarding the mess on Limit. I think I've been doing better about keeping that clean. So actually a crew's out there finishing up some concrete cleanup tonight. So I'm here speaking for agenda item number 8. It's a solar array with data center on Cisco Drive next to the auto auction facility. This is a 2 megawatt AC, 4 megawatt DC with a battery energy storage system attached to it that will provide backup power for the data center. It encompasses that property next to the little retention area that the city did a few years back to help with the drainage in that space. I don't have a ton to add. I've been to Logan County a couple times. I kind of will reiterate what I've told them before. I have a interest in making an investment in the community. I know that solar isn't always seen as a great thing. I brought several people with me tonight to show that it does have an impact on the city and the city residents. To date, this year, we have about $1 million in wages that we've paid to only people who live in the city of Lincoln, working on projects, whether they're working on the Limit Street project, whether they're working on the Nicholson Road project that we did, or we have a couple of them down in a project in Shiloh. We've moved them all the way to Macomb for a project. I try to do my best to, they usually show up on time to the job site, but not to the meetings. We have about, I count Seth Thomas with Thomas Excavation as, a pretty major contractor. We use him exclusively for our trucking, for our rock deliveries. He's doing some grade work right now at Lincoln Limit. And we have about 18 employees that we have here in the city of Lincoln. Most of them are full-time. Some of them are hit or miss with their work hours. But, these are all full-time workers making prevailing wage, which I think here is about $73 an hour, but they'll probably be able to tell you exactly. So it's a great opportunity for people who may not normally have an opportunity like this. They are construction jobs. They're not permanent jobs. But with the amount that we have done here in the community, there are several permanent full-time jobs here that will stay here after the construction's done. So I'm here for questions about it. I know that there will be some questions, especially about the construction and design standards. So if you guys have any questions, we can talk about it when the agenda gets brought up. Thank you.
And did any of your, I had a separate speaker card, so does everybody want to speak or? Okay, we'll just start with you and then please state your name for the record if you could.
Good evening. My name is Mitchell Bachman. I am the electrical supervisor and foreman for BTB Energy Solutions. So, not a whole lot for me to say other than, the fact that me and my crew have moved to this town of Lincoln. We're here a lot for most of our days throughout the year, and it's, we've been, just wanted to put it out there that, we do invest a lot of our money into the town and, going, we buy our groceries from local food markets around here. I go to this awesome little deli in town. It's called Meat Market.
There's a couple of them, yeah.
Meat Market.
Yeah.
They have great lunch.
She's the owner.
Oh.
One of them.
Yeah, I was going there every day for quite a bit, and so I was, I'm bouncing between here and Macomb a lot. It's a wonderful little town you guys got here, and, we do enjoy being here, and so looking forward to doing a lot more projects here, to be honest. So it's really all I really have for you guys. You guys have any questions for me on the construction process?
Any questions? We may have, Ms. McClellan? Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Would anybody else like to speak? Please step forward. And please state your name for the record if you could, please.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
My name's Josh Glazik. I've been living in Lincoln since I was 4. I'm the father of 5. I got 4 girls and a stepson. We had that fire down last year on September 5th. This job's been a great opportunity. I've been saving money to buy a house here in Lincoln. Pays for my kids to go to private school here at Carroll. So your guys' support would be really awesome. That's about it. I
Any
appreciate it,
questions?
guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Would anybody else like to speak? Okay. Thank you very much for, please step forward. And if you could state your name, please.
Yes, my name is Dylan Leslie. Kind of to reiterate off of Mitch's comments there, and Josh's, I have a family of 6 as well with, 1 income in the household while my girlfriend goes to nursing school. So again, like a job opportunity like this was kind of life-changing for me. And I'm sure I can speak for some of the people back there as well, and like Mitch said, I'm sure you guys would be shocked on how much money that we spend in this town as far as local businesses and, Walmart getting, like you said, getting groceries or anything like that. So it would be really great to get this site approved so we can even invest even more into this town as well. So that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Would anybody else like to speak under public participation? Okay, thank you for coming forward. Thank you for being residents of Lincoln. Thank you for investing in our community. I think this showing just goes to show how important, economic development is and the support of the council for projects such as this and others. So thank you for coming forward. Not very many people do, and we appreciate it. Okay, we'll work our way down the agenda, and hopefully we'll get to number 8 soon, because I know you probably all have places to go as well. We'll start with number 4, funding request for the community pavilion for 8th Street Park. Ms. Metelko.
Hello. So, I am here today to request some additional funding for the community pavilion. I applied for 2 of the grants and got denied. So we are looking at needing to fund about 250,000 more for it. ARPA will be, I think it's $136,514 is what we have for ARPA. I gave each of you a packet. It shows how much everything costs. We have most of the engineering done, and the packet includes the type of pavilion that we are looking at building and the placement of it at 8th Street.
So I'll kick it off, and then Mr. Bateman and Mr. Downs may have more to add. The Parks Committee's talked about this. We actually sat down with Shane Remmert multiple times on this, and we did, within the last few weeks, have a conversation about this project, about its future, design, and this request that comes before you tonight. So things to keep in mind was that the intention was and will continue to be to seek grant funds for this project. As you can see, the total estimate is $380,000. There has been $136,000 and some change already allocated for this project, which is ARPA money. So something to keep in mind with the ARPA funds is that we had until the end of '24 to allocate the funds for projects. We've done that with this project already. So if we don't move forward with this project, we actually forego all of that money. So that's something to think about. When we sat down with Shane the last time, we went through some design changes that we thought could be a little more cost effective. We have tried to remove as much from this as possible while still ending up with a quality product at the end and one that'll serve the community well. So we have done our homework. We have done everything we can to bring it to a manageable cost. That does leave the $250,000 that Ms. Metelko has mentioned tonight. And I think it would be important for the treasurer to speak about this because we have talked about some funding options for that. So, Mr. Konza, would you speak to that?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. I think the memo that you see there, that excuse me, that Ms. Metelko has prepared, kind of explains what we would need to do in order to finance this project. As she stated, there's $136,514 more or less in the ARPA fund. Actually, it's $50 more as of the last bank statement because of the interest on that account. And we've spent, as she said, $24,389.39. The remaining $250,000. The only feasible way that that could be done would be through a bank loan or debt certificate, which could be spread out over a period of 3 years or 4 years. I've contacted some of the local banks and still waiting to hear back on some of those for proposed rates and what those payments would be. Keep in mind that a lot of the forecasts are for cut to the interest rates, and if there is a reduction in the interest rates, then that might that you might have less interest to pay on it if we take this loan out later, for example, in the spring. Just in talking with Mayor Welch earlier, it appears that the groundbreaking, I guess, if you call that, would be in probably the spring, April or May.
Yes.
With the completion of the project in September. With that in mind, it would probably be advisable not to take the loan out at this point in time because you're not going to use the money, for one thing, until several months from now, so you're going to be paying interest on money that you're not going to use. The other reason is that most of the prevailing forecasts are for a cut in the interest rates, and if that's the case, we could be paying a lot less for that money. What I would recommend doing then is waiting and kind of watching how those go over the next few months. you can wait too long, so, you know, we want to be sure not to do that, because they go down and they also come back up. So it would probably be prudent to wait a while before actually closing on a loan for this project. But if the council so chooses to do this, the total remaining cost, as Ms. Metelko's memo indicates, is about $250,000. The question then would be whether we want to do that as a 3-year loan or a 4-year loan, or some other option if the council so chooses.
Anybody else? Mr. Bateman?
So we met several times working on this. It is a good compromise in size and design. There was a lot of things to consider, like for community theater or the sizes of bands and concerts, giving them ample room to set up, making it handicap accessible, placement in the park with drainage and stuff. So I think with the several meetings that we had, it's not the Taj Mahal, but it's not a trailer park either. It's a good compromise in between with a good design that can be used for multiple things. So this is what the committee come up with, and that's what they're asking approval for.
Mr. Downs and then Mr. Anderson.
I also just want to add that it's going to be an asset that we'll have in our community forever. It's a one-time purchase. There's very little maintenance involved with it or ongoing costs associated with it. And it's going to benefit the community.
Mr. Anderson and then Ms. McClellan.
You mentioned that you had applied for 2 grants, was denied on both of them. Is there any other grants that you could be applying for?
I'm gonna keep looking, but the T-Mobile one, I thought it was just here in Illinois, but it goes across all the states. But they do it every 3 months. So I'm gonna submit again for the T-Mobile, and its deadline is September 30th. So I'll keep trying for that one. Also keep watching for the other ones.
Very good, thanks.
Ms. McClellan.
Just being the alderman for that ward, I was wondering, is there going to be like a noise restriction where it only go past so many, what time at night for those who, if you're going to have a band or something like that, is there going to be a time like we do with the racetrack, and we do that by 10 o'clock it's going to be quiet or something like that?
Conversations leading up until now is that current noise ordinances would apply. We can certainly put some more guidelines on the use of that pavilion and the type of music, et cetera, that might be amplified in that area, could cause to the neighbors around there. Cause it is an open area out there. It does echo a little bit. So I think that's something we're going to have to consider at a later time, but yeah, we do need to.
Thank you.
Yeah. If the timeline actually, we can meet the timeline and get it done in 2026, it would be ready for movie in the park next year. So, not that that's something we need to consider whether we're doing this or not, but I'm just saying. So, okay, so is the council okay with putting this on the regular agenda for next week? Okay, we'll put it on the regular agenda, and then just keep in mind the treasurer will continue to monitor the situation with the project, and then he will bring back a request for the loan probably in spring of next year, March, April of next year. Mr. Treasurer, is that accurate?
Yes, that's correct. And if there's some, in talking with the engineers and others that you decide you want to proceed before that time, just let me know, and we will request what we need before that.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. Okay, we'll place that on the regular agenda. Okay, next is item number 5, advise and consent to the mayoral appointment of Katie Hanger to the Historic Preservation Commission. Regular agenda. Okay, so number 5 on the regular agenda. Next, item number 6, curb and sidewalk replacement project bid award. Mr. Landers.
Yes, the bid opening for the curb and sidewalk project for the 2025, the bid opening took place on the 3rd. We received 4 bids. Some of them were below budget for sure. those results are in the memo that I provided, and my recommendation is to accept a bid from Kenny Contractors for $250,406.40. And that was for the targets that were listed out prior to the bid opening. What I'd also like to do is recommend that we add another $75,000 to that to be able to do more targets, to do more work. That would allow us to attack more ramps, more sidewalks, and then it also would be allow us to still have a little contingency left due to the fact that our appropriations was $350,000. So it leaves us just shy of $20,000 less than what the appropriated amount was.
Questions for Mr. Landers? Okay, place this on the regular agenda. Okay, we'll place item number 6 on the regular agenda. If you do have any questions about those targets, please get with Mr. Landers before next week. Okay, the next item up is item number 7. This is a proclamation for National Sea Tracks Think Train Week. We have done these in the past years. I'll go ahead and read this for the record. It reads, whereas Sea Tracks Think Train Week is to be held across the U.S. from September 15th to September 20th, 25. Whereas 2,252 rail grade crossing collisions resulted in 749 personal injuries and were responsible for 268 fatalities in the United States during 2024. And whereas 1,465 pedestrian trespassing casualties have occurred in the United States, resulting in 821 pedestrians being killed and another 644 injured while trespassing on railroad property rights of way during 2024. And whereas educating and informing the public about rail safety, reminding the public that railroad right-of-ways are private property, enhancing public awareness of the dangers associated with highway rail grade crossings, ensuring pedestrians and motorists are looking and listening while near railways and obeying established traffic laws will reduce the number of avoidable fatalities and injuries caused by incidents involving trains and citizens. And whereas the International Association of Chiefs of Police, National Operation Lifesaver Incorporated, United States Department of Transportation, and all local, state, county, and railroad law enforcement officers, first responders, and railroad corporations commit to partnering together in an effort to educate at a national level all aspects of railroad safety, to enforce applicable laws in support of National Sea Tracks Think Train Week. Therefore, I, Tracy L. Welch, Mayor of the City of Lincoln, do hereby attest my full support, proclaiming September 15th to 21st, 2025 as National Sea Tracks Think Train Week, and I encourage all citizens to recognize the importance of rail safety education. We okay? Regular agenda for this one? Okay. Thank you. Okay, next up is item number 8, number 12 Cisco Drive Solar Array Project. Mr. Woodhull.
Thank you, Mayor. Obviously, you're all aware of this. I sent out the packet. I apologize for me sending it out late. It was a little large to put in this packet. It was under about 280 some pages. So, however, it's very concise. Although robust, it was very concise in its contents. Not much to it. It's a 10-acre plot to the west of the auto auction property on Cisco Drive. So that'd be east of where the water tower is on that corner out there, actually one parcel in. So it's a 10-acre parcel that this would encompass 8 acres of it. It's for a data center. It's going to be, for that purpose. So if there's any questions, their packet that I provided to you all was, like I said, had pretty much all the design information we would need. So in any other items I would have, I'll work with the applicants on that.
Questions? Ms. McClellan and Ms. O'Donohue.
I just had a few questions. One being, it said in the packet, I think, that this was for Cisco's use, right? So this is a commercial to send the electricity someplace else? Is that
No,
correct?
it's to be used on site.
Okay.
It just happens to be on Cisco Drive.
Okay, so what is this electricity gonna be for?
For their use on site, it's a data processing center.
Okay, so that, we're not sending it someplace, though?
Correct.
We're not sending it to, okay. The problems that seem to cropping up with the Limit Street one is that it's really close to residential, and it's kind of an eyesore when you're coming a certain direction. And I just want to make sure that we're not going to have that again, that we're not going to have the same kind of.
Did you see the map I provided?
Yeah, yeah, and it seems like it doesn't do either of those things. It's not residential, and it's not.
It's zoned industrial.
Yeah, totally well, so, I mean, we have one on Limit Street, and it backs right up to residences. So, I mean, it's like I just want to make sure that we're not going to have the same issues again with the fence being all, junk growing on the fence and the dust and the, what can we expect that will be different this time, I guess?
Yeah, Tony, you can step forward.
Agreed. I agree with you there. I've been working with Wes. I think when I was here before, I mentioned we're still waiting on Ameren to finish up their connection. Once that connection gets done, we're able to actually do the fencing along Limit. And Wes, once the solar rules got passed, he mentioned that, it needed to be a opaque fence. Even though that project started before the rules, I told him I had no issues making that an opaque fence as well. Additionally, putting some vegetation along that Limit Street to help with it, because it is. I mean, that road just like curves around, just like all of the, it's like that mirror in your house where like it just catches all your bad angles, and like that road does. And so I absolutely will, like I said, Limit Street for sure. It will be nice along there, regardless of what the ordinance says we have to do on that one. I will make sure that Limit Street looks nice. And the maintenance issues that we had this year, they will be solved. I think, again, I addressed that when I was here before. It just didn't get turned over to our regular maintenance program yet. Because it's still under construction, because we're still waiting on Ameren, and it's just been kind of frustrating process with them. But it will be, and it's actually going to be a couple of these guys' jobs to deal with it. So I'm not that far away, but I don't get over here enough to see it every single day. So this project on Cisco, for sure, you guys' solar ordinance is pretty concise about what has to happen. And I have no issues following that, making sure that fence line is done correctly, is opaque in nature, and actually cleaned and well kept. So,
Thank you for that. I really appreciate that. I think the fact that it's right there on the main drag and everybody has a chance to comment on it, it really is probably really one of the things that
I
brought
understand
it to the surface.
100%, 100%. I agree.
Oh, and thank you for your business. My husband really appreciate those sandwiches, I'm sure.
Okay, Ms. O'Donohue.
Okay, because I don't know much about this. So, data centers.
Mhm.
So, what I do know about data centers is cooling of data centers. So, what do you use for cooling the data center?
These will actually be air cooled.
Okay, so it's not a water issue that we're going to have to worry about.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Mr. Bateman.
In bringing it up on GIS mapping and looking back a little ways, I showed it to Stan and David here. It's if you were going to pick one in the city limits, this would probably be the place to pick it, because it's behind the auto salvage, and it's behind the truck stop and behind FedEx. So it's surrounded by nothing but industrial. So literally, if you're going to drive by and look at it, you would have to go out of your way and drive by to look at it, because you're going to be on the road that Cisco uses for their semis. So if you're going to pick one inside the city limits, this would be the location. Yeah. I don't even think you could see it from 55, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I'm at over here. Cisco's way over here.
You're right. You're at it.
You're right
Yep,
there.
it's center
It's that-
screen.
It's that brown square.
Right here.
Yep. Yep, exactly.
Okay. Oh, because here's the auto salvage. Yep.
The new concrete plant's out there.
Okay. Mr. Landers.
Yes, I haven't looked at the packet at all, so are your access is gonna be off, Cisco Drive then,
That was the plan.
to the south side?
Yep.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay. So place this on the regular agenda? Okay, we'll place that on the regular agenda for next week.
Cool.
Okay.
I think Wes has my contact information. If there are any questions that come up as you guys talk internally or with other people, and you have some questions, feel free to shoot them over to him. I'm pretty quick about responding, so please do. Okay?
Okay. Thank you for coming in. Thank all of you for coming in. We appreciate your time.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yep, thank you. Okay, next item is number 9, letter of credit from Heartland Bank for Ameren, Illinois for the installation of security cameras on electric poles. Chief, is this yours? Floor is yours.
And Chuck.
All right.
So, this letter of credit has been requested by Ameren in order to secure permission to attach one of the cameras that needs to be installed for the downtown safety initiative, or it's kind of turned into just the safety initiative. It's not just downtown anymore. And little did I know that they required so much. When I reached out to Ameren about getting this permission, my experience in the past had been temporary use, placing cameras on poles for just a short amount of time. And all that takes is a phone call to a few people down in Decatur at their facility. This, however, I think 20-some pages of a contract that they want. And part of their request, as previously mentioned, was a letter of credit. So in all, about $197 annually is what we're going to have to pay for the attachment fees. I thought about just doing it myself, but this is something that we need, and we had to bring it up before the council and get something on paper, I guess, in the minutes that you guys did approve our ability to get a $500 letter of credit from Heartland Bank to ensure that we have enough money to pay my $200 pole usage fee annually. Yeah, and I may, if we do this type of project again or select a location that we have to use a pole, I may have to do this all over again, but hopefully not. And the reason why we have to use the pole and do all this is because we've been working for a long time to get a camera in a specific location between the 200 blocks of South Kickapoo and South Chicago Street. We had a agreement with the old movie theater. Same people own the new movie theater and the old one, but to attach through the wall of the old movie theater. But they had done so much remodeling over the years that the walls were actually too thick to get all the wiring and everything through. So we had to abandon that idea, and this is about our only option for that area.
Let me just add to that if I so.
Mr. Gonzo.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. The reason that we're even having to vote on this is Ameren, for that letter of credit, for the bank to issue the letter of credit, the council has to request it. So as the chief said, we have to have it in the minutes. So the soonest that we could the bank would issue it would be after the meeting next Monday, assuming that the council is agreeable to approving it, which has, this whole process has caused considerable delay, and I want to thank Chief Meister for his work in trying to get this thing moving, and we hope that this will be the last obstacle.
I'm just excited that the safety initiative program continues to grow. Good for the community. It's good for law enforcement that has to solve crimes and issues. So
We have plans to continue with a new phase. This is just the last camera of that phase, and I've hit a roadblock on it for quite some time until we got to this.
yep, we appreciate it. Okay, we will place item number 9 on the regular agenda. Okay, next item up is item number 10, request a permit, Abraham Lincoln National Rail Splitting Festival, September 19th, 20th, and 21st. Has everybody seen the request? Yep. Okay. Mr. Anderson.
For some clarification, the application that was submitted right here only says the 20th and 21st.
At the top of it, it does, but down in the details, it says dates and times, and it includes the 19th there as well. So they just didn't get it in both places. Okay. All right. So place that on the consent agenda. Okay. I'm going to pull an item up that's not on the agenda. It's another road closure request. It was last minute, and I'm going to give you the details of it. And the reason I'm pulling it up is because I think the next topic might take a little bit of time. So the Foxhole has reached out to me this week, and they would like to do a road closure request on Saturday, September 20th from 5 to 11 p.m. They would like to close Broadway Street between Chicago Street and the alley. They have regular patrons that come in there that have been in the area doing construction projects for quite a while. They're coming to the end of the project, and they would like to have a gathering at the Foxhole. And so the Foxhole would like to request a closure for a bags tournament out in the street. And then I've been told a trailer with some TV displays and stuff like that on there. That's all the details that I have. If the council is amenable, we'll get a form filled out tomorrow from them, and then we'll distribute that to the department heads like we do on our normal requests, and we'll make sure the council gets a copy. Thoughts, questions? Ms. McClellan? September 20th from 5 to 11 p.m. That's a Saturday. And it would be a closure of Broadway Street from Chicago to the alley. You're welcome. Okay. So is the council okay placing this on the consent agenda, and then we'll get the form to you? Yes? I would assume there would be. I can get those details for you. You're welcome. Mr. Bateman?
I believe when we closed it for the Up and Smoke Festival, that they would be the only business that has business hours open in that section at that time, right? Because the other one's an insurance company. That's right there.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Where are we closing again? You said Broadway to the alley.
Broadway, basically right in front of the building we just purchased. That section of the
That
block.
section.
From Chicago Street
Chicago to
down to the alley.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. I'll get you an answer about live music, and I'll email that to you. I'll get it done tonight. Okay, we'll place that on the consent agenda then. Okay, next is item number 11, potential annexation of farmland into the city of Lincoln to expand the Keystone Solar Project. Mr. Hoblet.
As you all are aware, we currently have a project with Keystone that involves a community benefits agreement where they are installing solar panels that help the constituents of the city of Lincoln. They are looking to expand said project onto land that's currently not annexed within the city. the individual who we've done a land exchange previously in the past is amenable to Keystone leasing some of his land. So Keystone will be buying this land. It'll be leased. And I believe there's 4 parcels out there. And they're currently working out, the landowner and Keystone are currently working out as to which parcels would be annexed into the city of Lincoln. This would be an expansion of the solar project. And because it's a benefit to the constituents of Lincoln, it would actually have to be within the city of Lincoln proper, as I understand it. This would be a voluntary annexation. So it would be the property owner approaching the city, asking and signing a document asking that the city to annex their property. Because it's a voluntary annexation, there's no harsh public meeting requirements. Like, we don't have to affix a specific public hearing for this. We do not have to ask the court for permission, because this is uninhabited farmland. It's all uninhabited farmland. This land, as I understand it, doesn't have any type of visual. It's not going to be a visual blight, I believe. The condo association butts next to the condo association, but there's already trees and tight grass, so that would block all of that. I don't believe there's an objection there. So there is still some notice requirements that would be required. That's required for all annexations. These would be certified letters to the Fire Protection District, the Township, and the Library District. That's required by statute. That must be done 10 days prior to the meeting from which we would annex. So therefore, the earliest opportunity that we would be able to annex this land proper, if the council is amenable to annexing it, would be on the October 6th meeting, because we have a voting meeting coming up this coming Monday. We have one more cow, and then then we're going to have a week off, and the following would be the next one would be October 6th. So with the 10 days requirement, obviously that could slot in and fit in there. If they work out as to which parcels. As I understand it, the reason why they need to work out which parcels they are, because there's a gas line that goes underneath one of those. So they just need to ascertain as to which ones it will be. I've already spoken to the property owner. The property owner is agreeable to doing this. I do not see that this is, I don't see this causing much controversy. But I need to get I need some direction from you guys if you want me to do this, because then I'll have to prepare the paperwork for it. And I would like to have enough time to do it before that October 6th date, and it's with the 10 days and whatnot. That way I can get all those ducks in a row for our meeting coming up in October. Okay?
Mr. Bateman.
So, I'm kind of the contact person for Keystone, Mr. Welch and myself. What it is this property touches the one that's already being built on, and Kent Cross farms it. They've contacted Kent Cross. He's agreeable to them leasing the land from him to expand the solar farm that's being built out there right now. That would be a community type solar farm onto his land, but they would like for the city to consider annexing it in. That way the city would get all applicable tax dollars and such. Mr. Cross would get the lease payment, but the city would get the applicable tax dollars, and the being a continuation of the farm that they're building, it's enlarging the community solar farm that they're currently under construction. And yes, there is a big gas line through there, but it's been found and such, but that's what they're asking us to do.
Ms. McClellan.
Do we know how many acres that they're proposing to use? Or 20?
I do not know. Mr. Bateman might be aware of that.
I think he's correct.
I think the conversation was it was an additional 20 acres to what's already being built.
Is this did we ever get the panels working? Was this also the company that the panels were broken for so long?
That was,
company?
Yeah, that was a part that they had to work with Ameren to get replaced, and that's been replaced and is functional, last I was told.
It's functional. I bring that way in every day now to make sure that the panels are moving. But, yes, the panels now follow the sun, but, this is exactly where that is.
Any other questions, comments? Okay, Ms. McClellan?
Are we gonna use, is it using the same technology? I mean, do you think we're gonna have that problem again, or?
I don't
offline?
think these are rotating like the first array.
As I understand it, when they did this new batch of solar panels, I think they were using a newer technology, were they not, Mr. Bateman?
I believe they put the newer technology in when they repaired it the last time, and Silco Ameren washed their hands at it. But yes, these will follow the sun, the way I understand it, but it is different technology, and Keystone is taking ownership of that. It's not Ameren anymore.
Okay, other questions? All right.
We have no
Just to
idea when
place this-
Ameren will hook it up.
Need to place this on the agenda, correct? Or do
Well,
you,
I would suggest we have one more cow coming up between now and the voting session in October 6th. I stated previously that they need to work out as to exactly where, I know they said 20 acres, but exactly where that's going to go. And I would like to, if possible, I would have the petition and the mailings go out by that point, and we can update the council on the next cow with the idea that we put it on the vote on at that time for October 6th. But I would say tentatively, let's set it for October 6th, because that's what, if I get the which I probably will get the description as to where it's going to go between now and that point. I would like to have the council's approval to start to send out those notices for that October 6th date and not have to wait until the next cow thereafter, because then it'd be too late.
okay. Next cow.
Yep.
The parcel in question on GIS mapping comes up 68 gross acres, but I think they're only going to the creek. I could be wrong.
I thought it was the 20 you mentioned, but we'll find out.
Maybe they're annexing the entire 68 and only putting solar panels on part of it.
You can find out from
That's the
Anthony.
parcel that touches our parcel.
Okay. So you'll find out and let John know. Okay. All right. Anything else on this topic? Okay. That brings us down to announcements. I've got a couple. First is, don't forget about the Touch a Truck event this weekend. It is September 30th from 9 to 1 p.m. at Scully Park. And Chief Johnson and Chief Meister, do you guys have vehicles in there? And Mr. Landers?
Yes, the fire department will have a vehicle there.
Okay.
Yeah,
This is
we
what-
have two scheduled to be down there.
Okay,
The
perfect.
street department does not have any.
Okay. All right. So if you're free Saturday from 9 to 1. Okay. The other one, I wanted to share this with everybody. I got it today. I'm gonna ask Miss Matoko to put it on our Channel 9 feed, and I think this is worth putting on our Facebook page too. It's a flyer that I got from Ameren, and it is help available for your energy bill. As we know, everybody's bills are going up, and any help is needed. There's going to be a community development workshop. It's not in Lincoln. It's actually in Decatur on the 18th from 9 to 4. But there's some information. If you follow these steps and you qualify, you could get up to a $300 bill credit. So we'll put this out online and everybody can take a look. I'll forward it to the council as well, so you all have a copy of it and you can share as you see fit. Okay. That's all I have. Anybody else have an announcement? Mr. Landers.
Yes, I have actually two. I want to revisit the curb and sidewalk item on the agenda.
Okay.
The additional work is contingent on the contractor agreeing to the unit prices that were lined out in the current bid. And we've never had trouble with that in the past. They usually agree to the same unit prices. So basically everything costs the same as what was in the bid. And I do not have that approval yet, or that agreement, so that extra work would be contingent on that. And then also we have a sewer repair that's gonna happen, so we got a, starting tomorrow morning tentatively, and that will be on Dulvin Street, the 1000 block between Hamilton and Sherman, down just, west of, Washington Monroe School. They have a sewer main repair that they have to do. I'm not sure how long it's gonna take, but, that section of street will be closed to through traffic.
Okay.
Residents will be able to get in and out, but the through traffic won't be able to get through.
Okay. All right, any other announcements? Okay, if there are none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Who second? Alderwoman O'Donohue made the motion, Alderman Clemmons, second. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, same sign. This meeting is adjourned at 6:52 PM.
Once we get our community policing officer thing